शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरतारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थ रक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् पराम् अम्बिकाम्। ॐ ध्यायेन्नित्यं महेशं रजतगिरिनिभं चारुचन्द्रावतंसं रत्नाकल्पोज्ज्वलाङ्गं परशुमृगवरभीतिहस्तं प्रसन्नं पद्मासीनं समन्तात् स्तुतममरगणैः व्याघ्रकृत्तिं वसानं विश्वाद्यं विश्वबीजं निखिलभयहरं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रम्। ॐ नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्।
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किम कुर्वत सञ्जय। श्रीभगवानुवाच क्लैप्यमास्मकमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वयुपपद्यते क्षुत्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप। अर्जुनोवाच किं तत् ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते। श्रीभगवानुवाच अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते भूतभावोद्भवकरः विसर्गः कर्मसंज्ञितः। अर्जुनोवाच अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अधिभूतं शरो भावः पुरुषश्चाधिदैवतम् अधियज्ञो अहमैवात्र देहभृतां वर अन्तकाले च मामेव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः। यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरं तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः। अभ्यासयोगयुक्तेन चेतसा नान्यगामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन्। प्रयाणकाले मनसाचलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमवेश्य सम्यक् स तं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्। सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्धन्याधायात्मनः प्राणम् आस्थितो योगधारणाम्। मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः। अग्निर्ज्योतिरः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणम् तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्मविदो जनाः। धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते। शुक्लकृष्णे गतीयेते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यात्यनावृत्तिम् अन्यया वर्तते पुनः। नैते सृति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन। तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन। वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चात्यम्। इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनुसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात्। राजविद्या राजगुह्यं पवित्रम् इदमुत्तमम् प्रत्यक्षावगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम्। अश्रद्धानाः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मनि। सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम् कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्। न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबन्धन्ति धनञ्जय। उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम्। परं भावम् अजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्। महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्य अनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्। अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वधा अहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहं हमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं हुतम्। पिताहमस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च। गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयः स्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम्। अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्। येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः ते अपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम्। अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च। न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते। समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः। ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम्। अपि चेत् सुदाचारो भजते माम् अनन्यभाक् साधुरेव च मन्तव्यः सम्यग् व्यवसितो हि सः। क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्ति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मत्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्तैत्वम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः.
Very nice. Thank you, Resi. Delightful recitation. Acha. So, where were we in the last?
We completed 9, verse 9, or we were
Verse 9 is completed. Very
yeah.
good.
So
Thank you. So, एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन् महायोगेश्वरो हरिः दर्शयामास पार्थाय paramam रूपम ऐश्वरम. Sanjaya said, then thus speaking, O king, Hari, the great master of yoga, revealed to Arjuna a transcendent and sovereign form. So that is the thrilling verse at which we stopped. Now we will see what is this form that Bhagavan revealed to Arjuna. Okay? Number 10, please.
अनेक वक्र नयनम अनेकाद्भुत दर्शनम अनेक दिव्याभरणम दिव्यानेकोद्यता युधम.
So, number 10, Aneka Vaktra. So, you know, Vaktra is, here they have translated as face, mouth rather, Aneka iti. Nayanam, eyes. Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, with many marvelous, wonderful aspects. Aneka Divyabharanam, with many divine ornaments, Abharanam. Divyan Aneka Yata Ayudham, and with many weapons, Ayudham, uplifted. Divine weapons also. So now this yogic vision in Savikalpa Samadhi will depend on many things. The mental images that are deep in the subconscious, unconscious, right? And because now there are different traditions, so you know, people from a Christian tradition may see Jesus coming in a light, right? People in Muslim Islamic tradition may see Allah or Muhammad. But more ancient than those traditions, deep in the entire human universal unconscious, are certain images, right? Those images are actually so non-specific to the traditions, but most excellently described in the Sanatana Dharma, right? So that is what Bhagavan is describing here in completeness, right? So this is the form. In the end, of course, once even this Savikalpa Samadhi, it becomes more subtle. Savitarka, then Savichara, Nirvichara. The ultimate experience is one of great light or great sound, and one of the experience that one is infinitesimal. What is it like to be in the presence of the infinite? That is what you have to conceive. Now, if you go to India, sometimes you see, have you seen these very gigantic statues that are erected? Like you've been to Shravanabelagola in Karnataka, there is a giant statue, right? Actually, it is one of the Tirthankaras, I think, right? Similarly, in other places, you will see giant statues, very large. Why is that? That is to evoke in the mind what is it like to be in the presence of the infinite, right? So people who are more externally oriented will be overawed by large things. Yes or no? Tallest skyscraper. Every country wants to have the tallest skyscraper, right? And of course, it's beat up the next day by some other country. But in India, we try to vie in constructing the tallest image of the Lord. Why? So that the mind can be turned inward and have the experience of the infinite within. Right? That's the idea. Anyway, next verse. Thank you, Mahesh.
दिव्यमाल्याम्बरधरं दिव्यगन्धानुलेपनं सर्वाश्चर्यम् अयं देवम् अनन्तं विश्वतोमुखम्.
Very beautiful, right? Please read English translation also. Yeah.
I don't have it, Dr.
Oh, right. So that's why we said I will read them, because yes, not everybody. Certainly. Divyam Malya Ambaradharam, wearing divine garments, garlands and vestments. Divya Gandha Anulepanam, smeared with divine scents. Sarva Ascharyamayam, full of marvels. Devam Anantam, infinite Lord. Vishwato Mukham, with faces turned everywhere. Right? Divya Malya Ambaradharam, Divyani Malyani Pushpani Ambarani Vastrani cha Driyante Yena Ishvarena Tam Divya Malyambaradharam Divya Gandhanulepanam Divyam Gandhanulepanam Yasya Tat Divya Gandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Sarva Ascharyaprayam Devam Anantam Na Asya Antaha Asti Iti Anantaha Tam Anantam Vishwato Mukham Sarvato Mukham Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatvat Tam Darshayamasa Arjunaha Dadarsha Iti Va Adya Kriyate. Or here the expression Arjuna beheld may be added. Ya Punah Bhagavata Vishwarupasya Bhaha Tasyaha Upama Uchyate. As regards the splendor of the blessed Lord, Bha, right? Bhaha, in his cosmic form, Vishwarupasya, an analog. So remember, I just anticipated, I said the experience is the most brilliant light. Surya Koti Samaprabha, the light that you have never, that bright you have never seen, of 1,000 crore suns, right? This is now very beautifully, Bhagavan is saying this point. That analog is offered. So this experience is light, complete in its most, shall we say, attributeless form. So, number 12, Padiye.
So, Dr. Sankar, a quick question. So this is this stage the verse 11 is described here, right? So this is the with the divine garland and vestment and all this. So this is with a Saguna Brahman, right? The
Yes.
Saguna Brahman.
Indeed.
So yeah, you mentioned that depending on one's faith, right? And
Yes.
also the vision, what Sanjay observed here, and then vision, what Arjuna observed, would they be similar or would they be different in this context?
Sorry, what is the last sentence you said?
So the vision or the experience, right? What Arjuna observed or he experienced, and then the version the Sanjay observed, would they be same or different? Because though they have different faith or different mentality, right?
Arjuna and Sanjaya.
Yeah, so since Bhagavan is showing this to Arjuna, right? And
Right.
Sanjay is observing from the distance, like he has that vision. So
Right, right, right. Well, he is a Sanatana Dharmi too, is he not?
yeah, yeah,
Sanjay,
definitely both of them.
right?
Yeah.
Sanjay is a very wonderful character, right? Right. Now, to give you a parallel thing, you might have heard of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. What was the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna among his many greatnesses? Was he chose to follow the path of Christianity and experienced God as Jesus Christ. He chose to follow the path of Islam, experienced God as Allah. And then he came back and said, but still my Ma Kali is the first way I experienced the Lord. How much more proof? There is no other religious tradition that has ever shown this. This is a fact. And that's why I keep saying the Sanatana Dharma will subsume all other religious traditions. They are all contained within it. It is not contained in anything. But to know what is the true Sanatana Dharma is very difficult. Most people who think they know Hinduism do not know Sanatana Dharma. It's just a simple fact. Their minds are too limited. It will explode your thinking to know it in its intimate nature, right? So, but we had the great grace and blessing, at least of people like Ramakrishna, to come and show us that, all right? That is his most great feature. His greatness is that in this yuga, in this age, when globalization was happening and he anticipated and the admixture of cultures and traditions, he came to show this, right? As a living example, not in theory, not by referring to a book, but by living example. So this is great sort of blessing for us, right? So yes, but indeed, I mean, in this context, because this is still Dwapara Yuga, right? So even Sanjaya is having same faith. Then what? So yes, please. Next, this is a very fantastic number 14. Oh no, not
12.
12. Yes, thank you.
दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य भवेत् युगपदुत्थिता यदि भाः सदृशी सा स्यात् भासस्तस्य महात्मनः.
Very nice. Thank you. Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Surya is sun. Divi is the light, the splendor of 1,000 suns. Bhavet, if there were. Where Yugapaduttita, if in the firmament, Antarikshe, right? If there were the simultaneous splendor of 1,000 suns were to explode, Yadi Bhaha Sadrishi, Sa Syat Bhasastasya Mahatmanah. That the light that it would have, it would be similar to the semblance of that mighty being. Divi iti. Divi antarikshe tritiyasyam va divi suryanam sahasram surya sahasram tasya yugapad uthitasya surya sahasrasya va ya yugapad uthita bhaha sa yadi sadrishi syat tasya mahatmanah vishwarupasyaiva bhasaha yadi va na syat tatopi vishwarupasyaiva bhaha atirichyate iti abhiprayah. Kimcha. In the firmament, that is in the sky or in the third sphere of heaven, where there is the simultaneous splendor of 1,000 suns risen all together, it would be similar to the blazing light of that mighty being in his cosmic form. Or maybe it is not similar, as the light of that being will surpass it. This is the idea. Because the infinite can only be indicated by comparison. The direction only one can point to the infinite. You can say Sahasra, Koti, But obviously, you cannot put a limit on the infinite. It can never be exactly described, right? So, this is the idea. Acha. So then what happened? 13.
तत्रैक्स्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं प्रविभक्तमनेकधा अपश्यत् देवदेवस्य शरीरे पाण्डवस्तदा.
Very nice. Tatra ekastham jagat kritsnam. There in that single being with cosmic form. Pravibhaktam anekadha. The entire apashyat deva devasya, God of gods, he saw. Sharire, in that very body. Pandavas tada. This Pandava prince saw. Then the entire world, Jagat, residing in the body of that God of gods. Tatra ekastham. There in that single being. Tatra tasmin vishwarupe ekasmin sthitam. In that one form itself, cosmic form. Ekastham Jagat. In the body of Hari. Kritsnam pravibhaktam anekadha. The entire world variegated in endless ways. Deva pitru manushyadi bhedaihi. So, anekadha. Deva, divine. Pitru, the man is. Manushya, human, etc. Bhedaihi. Apashyat. Apashyat with sandhi becomes apashyat deva devasya. Drishtavan deva devasya as gods. Harehe. Sharire. Pandavaha Arjunaha tada. So, again, brings back to mind the Purusha Suktam, right? Sahasra Sirisha Purusha, right? In one cosmic being, everything is seen. Again, in Aditya Hridayam, what does it come? The particular verse that comes to mind is Pitaro vasavas sadhya hyashvino maruto manuhu vayurvakhnit prajaprana rutukarta prabhakaraha. Pitaraha, Pitaro, manas. Vasavaha, the Vasus. Sadhya, the Sadhya gods. Yeah. Okay. Ashvino, the two Ashwins. Marutaha, the Maruts. Manus, right? Vayu, air. Vakhni, fire. Vayu, Vakhni. Prajaprana, right? Progeny, the pranas, right? Everything. Ritukarta, the maker of the seasons. Divakaraha, the one who lights up the day. So, same way, if you see any of our most beautiful stotrams or suktams, this point will be coming again and again, right? The ability to see an entire universes in one. Okay, very nice. Then what happened? This is very fantastic. Number 14, Padhiye, please.
ततः स विस्मयाविष्टः हृष्टरोमा धनञ्जयः प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं कृताञ्जलिर्भाषत.
Very beautiful. Tataha sa vismayavishtaha. What do you make of vismayavishtaha? Filled with wonderment, amazement. Actually, mind gets a bit confused. Correct? But it's a joyous confusion, a kind of a, when you say adbhuta, when you see something adbhuta, wonderful. Hrishta Roma. Roma is hair. Hrishta Roma is delighted hairs. There's actually a famous rishi called Loma Harshana. Have you heard of Loma Harshana? Right? So this is a description. It's a bhakti experience. Unfortunately, in English, sometimes it is translated as horripilation, which gives a somewhat negative context. But actually, it is a divine experience. Your hair stands on end sometimes. When you are in the presence of something divine, the entire hair stands on end, goosebumps. Right? So I see many of you nodding, you've experienced this. So in the extreme limit. Yes? Any comment on that?
I think, yeah, in that those state, like, breathtaking, right? Breathtaking experience. Sometimes, yeah, we just, stop breathing, maybe just focus, gazed in, and I think that timeless state, I don't know how
Yeah.
to describe that.
Even if you visit beautiful places like Badrinath, Kedarnath, and you go and stand near the Sannidhi, it's very cold in Kedarnath. The stone floor is very cold. But if you stand there, you definitely feel the presence of the Lord very close, even in the external world.
Sometimes, Dr. Shankar, the Rishta Roma experience also happens in presence of very saint-like people.
Yes.
Sometimes, to me, it has also happened during our satsangs,
Very nice.
when we were especially doing the Mandukya Upanishad.
Right.
Those times.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing. Yes, indeed. Indeed. That's a natural closeness when we feel to divine thoughts. Then, undoubtedly, this Rishta Roma. Thank you. Dhananjaya, of course. Who is this? Dhananjaya himself feeling this, right? Pranamya Shirasa. He just bowed his head. What else can you do at that point? When you have seen everything in that instant, Devam Krita Anjalir Abhashata. He just folded his hands, bowed his head, and started saying what he was going to say. Right? This is truly a bhakti experience. That feeling of the Lord being so close, showing his divine form, thrilling, lifting the hairs, goosebumps. What else can you do? You can only just fold your hands and just prostrate yourself. Because this power is so great, it completely humbles the mind. What can the mind do? You feel so puny. What can you do? What can you say in the presence of this power? Right? Till now we thought, oh, we have some power, we are looking around, we are calculating with our minds, computing what to do tomorrow, today, what should I eat, what will my desires be satisfied, blah, blah, blah. And then bang, okay, it just puts you in this perspective. You are one of 108 billion who have died, okay. Your life is a twinkling of my eye, okay. Now come and tell me, what are your problems? Right? What will you do? You can only laugh at yourself, right? Oh, what are all these ridiculous, complicated things I thought when now is standing in front of me the Lord himself, right? This is, one must conceptualize this and experience it. It should attract us to, oh my Lord, may I have this sannidhi of you directly? May I speak to you? Request your audience, because actually in our there are different stages enumerated in bhakti also. So it is called samipya, salokya, right? Living in the same loka as the Lord, right? Being very close to the Lord, right? Sayujya, being yoked to the Lord, right? When the mind constantly dwells on those characteristics, those features of being so close, then definitely the Lord will reveal himself, right? And that is what he has done to Arjuna. So Arjuna is having a most thrilling experience, right? So let us now see what happened. What did Arjuna say after that? What can one say after this? This Arjuna will say now. Huh. Katham yat tvaya darshitam vishwarupam tat aham pashyami iti. So anubhavam avishkurvan Arjuna uvacha. How, affirming his own experience in the words such as, I see your cosmic form as revealed by you, etc. Arjuna uvacha. Number 15.
अर्जुन उवाच पश्यामि देवं तव देवदेहे सर्वां तथा भूतविशेषसङ्घान् ब्रह्माण्डमीशं कमलासनस्थं ऋषींश्च सर्वान् उरगांश्च दिव्यान्.
So, after this kind of thing, what you have to pinch yourself, right? They say, don't you have to pinch yourself to see if you're in a dream or what is happening? So to kind of fixate his mind and say, I'm seeing this, right? Who will believe you if you come back and say, I saw this? Nobody will believe you. Only one who has seen will believe you. If you come back to this world and call up somebody and say, I was full of, I saw, they say, oh, really? Okay, maybe this person is going crazy. But if you go tell the Guru, yeah, of course, no problem. Very good. Continue your devotions. This is very good. You're a special person. You're blessed. Right? Yes or no? Right? Only one who has tasted the sweet can tell you what the sweet tastes like. They will affirm your sweet. That is why the Guru is needed. For no other reason. Because everybody in the world will disbelieve you. Nobody will believe you. Your good family will try to take you to a mental asylum if you say something like this. Really. They will get worried for you. They'll say this person is losing their marbles. Right? This is the nature of the world. Okay. So that is why they say in any parampara, in our parampara, you need a guru for this one single reason, right? So then what does Arjuna say? He just has to affirm to himself that he is having this vision. He says, Pashyami, I see. Devan, I see all the gods. Tava Deva Dehe, in your divine being. Sarvan Devan, right? Tatha, Bhuta Vishesha Sanghan, also groups of the contingent beings, that is the classified, categorized beings. Brahmanamisham, I see mighty Brahma seated in the lotus. Kavalasana stha. Rishimscha, and I see all the rishis. Sarvan, Uraganscha, and I see all the celestial serpents, Divyan. So, Pashyami iti, Pashyami upalabhe he deva. Tava dehe devan sarvan. Tatha bhuta vishesa sanghan. Bhuta visheshanam sthavara jangamanam. Both the unmoving and the moving. Nana samsthana visheshanam. Sanghaha. Bhuta visheshas sanghaha. Tan. Kincha. Brahmanam. Chaturmukham. Four-faced Brahma. Isham, the Lord. Ishitaram prajanam. Lord of all the creatures. Kamalasanastham. Prithvi Padma Madhye. In the middle of this, the lotus, earth lotus. Meru Karnikasanastham. Who resides in Meru. Ityarthaha. Rishinscha. Vasishtha-adin. The most excellent Rishi was Vasishtha. In Sandhya Vandanam also we say, right? Kutsa Vasishtha Gautama Kashyapa Angiras Arishaya. Sarvan. Uraganscha Vasuki Prabhutin Divyan Divi Bhavan. Also the celestial serpents like Vasuki and the rest. Please read 16.
अनेक बाहूदर वक्त्रनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वां सर्वतो अनन्तरूपं न अन्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिं पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपः.
Very nice. Aneka bahu, many hands. Udara, stomachs. Vaktra, here translated as faces, more accurate I feel than mouths. Netram, eyes. Pashyami, I see. Tva, sarvato anantarupam, in all directions, with a form infinite in all directions. Na antam, there is no end. Na madhyam, no middle. Na punaha, tava adim, or a beginning for you I see. Vishveswara Vishwarupa, O Lord of the universe. Now, those of you, many of you might have read Swami Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi. Remember that? Paramahamsa Yogananda. He describes also his experience of cosmic consciousness. It was very transformative for many people to read about Yogananda's description. So very similar again. Not perhaps as, describing all the various creatures as we see in the Puranas, but also it is a cosmic experience. Now, remember, this brings to mind this debate of, the Trimurti. There's a Puranic story, right? That Brahma and there was a debate. Who is the one who is the greatest? Who has the beginning and who has the end? And then Brahma tries to ascertain what is the limit of Shiva, right? And Shiva is a fire. I think he knows this one.
Yes, sir. So like then it tries to travel all the way to find the end,
Right.
but it never ends.
Then he sees the flower falling down and takes Sakshi, the flower as Sakshi, right? So this is again the point that, he's saying, I see no end to you. Now, all the things we have seen so far have some end or beginning, right? So this is again an out of the world experience. So then number 17, please.
Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha tejorasim sarvato deeptimantam pasyami tvam durnirishyam samantat deeptanalarkadhyutim aprameyam.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. Kiritinam. Kiritam, crown. Right? Gadinam, the Gada. Chakrinam, chakra. There's great symbols and significations of Mahavishnu. Cha, Tejo Rashim, with a Tejas, brilliance. Tejo Rashim, a massive splendor. Sarvato Deeptimantam, blazing in all directions. Pashyami Tvam, I see you. Durnirikshyam, immeasurable. Samantat, all around. Deepta Anala Arka Dyutim Aprameyam. With the light of blazing fire and sun, immeasurable. Anala, fire, Arka, sun, Dyutim, the light, Aprameyam. So, Kiritinam iti, Kiritim nama, Shirobhushana Visheshaha, Tat Yasya Astihi Sa Kiriti, Tam Kiritinam, Tatha Gadinam Gada Asya Vidyate iti Gadi, Tam Gadinam, Tatha Chakrinam Chakram Asya Asti iti Chakri, Tam Chakrinam Cha. He is explaining the grammatical formation of these words. Tejo Rashim, Tejaha Punjam, Sarvato Deeptimantam, Sarvato Deeptihi Asya Asti iti Sarvato Deeptiman, Tam Sarvato Deeptimantam, Pashyami Tvam Durniriksham, Dukkena Nirikshaha, Durnirikshaha, Tam Durniriksham, Samantat Samantataha, Deepta Anala Arka Dhyutim Analascha, Arkascha, Analarkau, Deeptau, Analarkau, Deeptana Larkau, Tayoho, Deeptana Larkayoho, Dyutiriva, Dyutihi, Tejaha Asya, Yasya Tava Satvam, Deeptanalarka Dyutihi. Is really explaining the formation of the samas. Aprameyam, na premeyam, ashakya parichedam ityetat. Immeasurable, indeterminable. So again, description of the light. Ita eva te yoga shakti darshanat anuminomi. In view of the power of your yoga, I infer. And next one.
त्वमक्षरं परमं वेदितव्यं त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं त्वमव्ययः शाश्वतधर्मगोप्ता सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतो मे.
Beautiful. Thank you. Very nice. Tvam aksharam. You are the imperishable. Paramam, the supreme imperishable. Veditavyam. You are the one who should be known. Tavya aniya compound. Veditavyam. Tvam asya vishwasya. You are of this world. Param nidhanam. You are the ultimate support. Ultimate ground. Tvam avyayaha. You are immutable. Shashvatam. You are Dharma Gopta, the guardian of eternal righteousness. So, like Sanatana Dharma Gopta, the protector of Sanatana Dharma. And the next word is Sanatanastvam, Purushaha, the everlasting spirit. Mato me, I deem you to be. What does not perish is the imperishable, the supreme Brahman. Tvam aksharam, na ksharati iti aksharam, paramam brahma veditavyam gyatavyam, mumukshubihi. For those who are seeking liberation, this is the one that is fit to know, that must be known. Of this entire universe, Tvam asya vishwasya samastasya jagatah param prakrishtam nidhanam. You are the ultimate or exalted nidhiyate asmin iti nidhanam. Paraha ashrayah ityartha. The receptacle on which the whole world rests, its final support. Now, of course, this doesn't mean like it's a pot sitting on a ground. This support is consciousness itself. Right? Besides you, kim cha tvam avyayah na tava vyayo vidyate. There is no change in you, who wither not. Iti avyayah shashvata dharma gopta shashvat bhavah shashvatah nityah dharmah tasya gopta shashvat dharma gopta sanatanah chirantanah tvam purushah paramah matah abhipretah me mama. I deem you to be the supreme spirit, the everlasting one. Kincha, and then 19, please.
अनादिमध्यान्तमनन्तवीर्यमनन्तबाहुं शशिसूर्यनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वाहं विप्तहुताश्वक्रतं तेजसा विश्वमिदं तपन्तम्.
Very nice. Anadim. Anadi madhya anta antam ananta viryam ananta bahum. I see you. So actually the pashyami again must be supplied in the beginning. I see you. Tvam. Pashyami tvam. Having no beginning. Anadim. Madhya. Or no middle. Or end. Antam. All those Anadi Madhya Antam. Ananta Viryam. Inexhaustible energy. So whenever we see anybody who is very energetic, we must know that their energy comes from somewhere. Ananta Viryam. Ananta Baho. Endless arms. Shashi Surya Netram. Having the sun and moon for your eyes. Deepta Hutasha Vaktram, the blazing fire for your face. Swatejasa, through your own brilliance, Vishwamidam tapantam, you're burning the whole universe with your radiance. Now in the Purusha Suktam, it will come also this idea of the eye being associated with the sun. So he says sun and moon for your eyes. Right? So there again you will hear that. And then blazing fire for face, tapantam. So then 20. So what happens? See, he's burned this tapas, this power of austerity, tapaha, right? Is burning the whole world. His fire is so great. So then, what is the next verse telling us?
द्वावा पृथ्व्यो हृदमनन्तरः व्याप्तं त्वेकेन दिशश्च सर्वाः दृष्ट्यः वाद्यभूतं रूपमिदं त्वग्रोः लोकत्रयं प्रवस्थितं महात्मनम्
Dhyava prithivyor idam antaram hi vyaptam. Dhyava prithvi always come as a dual. That is the what is called firmament, sky, and earth. What is in between those? Idam antaram. Dhyava prithivyo idam antaram. Indeed, the space between the firmament and the earth, hi vyaptam, has been pervaded solely by you. Tvaya ekena. Tvayaikena. Dishascha sarva, and all the points of space that, prachye dishanama, dakshinayisma, pratiche dishan, udiche dishan, urdhvanama, adhanama, right? And then in addition to that, we also have the intermediate directions, right? With their rulers, correct? 8 plus 2, 10. 10 directions. Dishascha sarvaha. Drishtva adbhutam rupamidam, beholding this marvelous Tava and Ugram, it's a menacing form. Lokatrayam, the three worlds. Pravyathitam, Mahatman, they are overwhelmed. So, the vision of the Lord as Vishwarupa is not for the faint-hearted. Right? Java iti, Java prativyoho idam antaram, iti antariksham vyaptam tvaya Vishwa Rupa Dharena Ekena Dishasya Sarvaha Vyaptaha Drishtva Upalabhya Adbhutam Bismapakam Rupam Idam Tava Ugram Kruram Lokatrayam Lokanam Trayam Pravyatitam Bhitam, they are afraid, Prachalitam Vahi Mahatman Akshudrasvabhava. Beholding, perceiving this marvelous, amazing form of yours that menaces or terrifies, these three worlds are smitten with fear or are shaken. O magnanimous, mighty being. Again, in the Upanishad says, it is out of fear of Brahman that the wind blows. It is out of fear of Brahman that the fire burns. Right? Because when one beholds the immeasurable power, what else can there be other than a complete surrender, right? So, how are we doing for time? 6:20. Maybe we will pick up from 21 onwards. We read quite a few. So we are now starting to see the fearful aspect. So that is why again, you see, depending on what is in the mind, that will get amplified. So even Arjuna, such a noble Arya, right? Noble of birth, noble of karma, noble of practice, tapas, having had access to the divine in other forms, when he saw the Vishwarup, he was not only amazed, but he was also frightened. Right? So therefore, now if the mind has been obsessed with some other lesser than noble things, fearful things, and unfortunately there is a lot of that in every part of the world, right? Then it is likely to get more scared. Yes or no? Right? Even as a child is afraid of the dark. Even after growing up, there are other fears, right? And there are also several negative manifestations of, so, that is why in our tradition, they say, don't bother yourself with these tamasic practices of black magic and other things, right? If those things have taken a root in the mind, people get into all kinds of peculiar obsessions about wanting to know what was their past life, where is that person, and all these kind of negative things. Later also, Bhagavan will say the sattvic worship the devas, but then the obsession with bhuta, preta, and all these things, these can cause even more greater fears. Even such a sattvic person is afraid or feels that fear by seeing the ugra form of the Lord, right? So we will delve more into that. But above all, those with firm bhakti, those who have seen the form of the Lord with Shankha Chakra Gadapani, they will not be afraid because they will recognize it as familiar, right? Above all, what anyone practicing yoga or bhakti has to know, that this power, Shakti, is benevolent. It is ultimately for your own good. It is ultimately for everyone's good. This again in the Markandeya, when in Devi Kavacham, he says, right? What does he say? Sarva Rakshakaram, right?
There's also a line where it comes Gadam Shaktim Musalayudham, like they explain all
Shankam
the.
Chakram Gadam Shaktim.
Yes,
Phalam cha
Shankam.
Musalayam.
Right. Those are the weapons of the Devis there, as described, Navadurgas. And I was thinking first, right in the beginning, he says, Sarva Rakshakaram Drinam. That,
Yadguyam Sarvam.
yes, that Sarva Rakshakaram, so always protecting. So the main thing to keep in mind is that even though the power that is beheld may be frightening, it is always working for the benefit of all creation. That is something to keep in mind. And therefore, there need be no fear. Because that benevolent power will never do anything that is ultimately harmful. It is not in its nature, right? So with that, any other comments? Are you enjoying the Vishwarupa Darshana? Very nice.
So Dr.
So,
Shankar,
huh?
so
Yes.
so in the process,
Mhm.
it is so you're saying that it is the faith or bhakti itself which is eliminating all these fears in the process.
Fantastic. Yes. That is the takeaway. That is why practice without bhakti is a dangerous and fraught path. And that is why the misguided practice of yoga, as is so popular nowadays, without bhakti is a dangerous path, truly speaking. Bhakti and Shraddha must be used to strengthen, so that the experience is very smooth. Right? So without bhakti, right, that yogic practice is not successful. Right? And bhakti and gyan become synonymous. After the ultimate experience, there can be no gyan without bhakti, and there can be no bhakti without gyan. Shankaracharya himself showed. He wrote the most intellectual treatises and the most fantastic bhakti poem. Why would one person do both? Right? Again, you will see that in Sri Ramakrishna also, or in Sri Ramana also, right? Ramana was a great devotee of the Arunachaleshwara, right? So this is always the case. True Gyan is always accompanied by Bhakti. True Bhakti actually will reveal the Gyan itself. Okay? Thank you. Very nice comment. Any other?
So, Dr. Sankar, so what Arjuna is experiencing is, can we say that is the experience of, samadhi, or is this something
Yes,
else?
it is. He is directly experiencing Savikalpa Samadhi.
Okay.
Indeed.
So just a follow up on the last question.
Mhm.
So because there are millions and millions of possible fears, right?
Mhm.
And if people try to eliminate, address one by one and eliminate all of them, it's not going to work. So just forget about all of those things and a single pointed focus on what you.
Indeed. Indeed. And there is a normal common sense, right? So I'll give you an example. In India, once upon a time, when I was young, my somebody in our family, they were going to uh, uh, they were on the way to some holy place, but they stopped at one place called Chotanikara. Okay, and here there is it's a kind of a black magic place, exorcisms and things like that. So in the middle of the night, and there are a lot of mentally ill people who are also chained there and being undergoing. So it's not a very you need a certain mental strength to go there. Okay, so that is not a good place to take somebody who is, or that is another reason why in India sometimes even at the shmashan they will not allow children or women, in the feeling that their mind may get disturbed, right? If your mind is very strong, then you will not get disturbed by these things, right? You can go and talk to these people and there will be no, but if your mind is not strong, then you better just keep it away from those things, and apply yourself to bhakti. No point simply going and trying to enter into those things, right? And above all, one thing to keep in mind, this assurance is given in various yogic books also. When the mind is intent on samadhi, that mind cannot be disturbed by any evil thing. No evil has any power inside the sushumna, right? This must be very clearly understood, right? And with that faith, if one proceeds, then there is no problem, right? Both in the external world and in the internal world, right? In the internal practice and in the external practice. So these are tamasic practices. Bhagavan will describe them later in the chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. So these occult practices, is too much in many cultures, unfortunately in Indian culture also, right? These are to be completely uh, not even considered, and used by various people with very small ends, to try to, bring some evil on somebody and etc., right? These impact, typically they have effect on people of weak mind. Okay. So either you should strengthen your mind or you should be in the presence of someone whose mind is very strong. And then they will dispel these fears in like a flash. Right? If you want to go to Chotanikara, tell me, I'll go with you. These are all jokes. Those trying to exploit somebody, this is very bad. A lot of deep, dark superstitions. But it's there. What can you do? It's there everywhere in the world. Right? So best thing is, the best way to remove darkness is through light. And so the Bhagavad Gita gives us that light. Right? So that's why the whole 18 chapters is worth reading, because later Bhagavan will talk about the the Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, the 3 types of Shraddha. Right? So above all, let the mind not venture into those places, and keep it on the positive, and all good things will happen. Any other comments, questions? Sir? Okay, then we will say Shanti Mantram, and I will say bid you farewell till next week. Om Tachamyora Vrinimahe Gatum Yajnaya Gatum Yajnapataye Daivihi Swastirastu Naham Swastirmanushabhyah Urdhvam Jigatu Bheshajam Shanno Astu Dvipadehe Sham Chatushpade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste everyone. Have a lovely evening and rest of your weekend. See you in a week.